Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are doing the third design of these small triangles for our kaleidocycle. With the small triangles we start here. I call this the start bead. We need a black, so you can put it on either string, let it drop down to the center, and then you'll add 2 beads to each string. So on the left we need 2 blacks, and on the right we need 2 topaz. So we'll add 2 blacks and 2 topaz, and then we will cross a bead. We need a black for that. Put it on one string, enter the other string from the opposite direction, and you have crossed your bead. Bring that down, and we have our first circle. Now we will continue that. We'll add 2 to each string and cross. So we need this time 2 topaz on the left, 2 black on the right. And we will cross a topaz. Now, as you are doing your piece, I recommend that you put dots to keep track of where you are. And as these graphs are all the same, once you've filled up one with dots, you can just turn it and start with the next one and keep track of where you are that way. So now we will do the next set. And this time we need a black and a topaz on the left. And then topaz on the right. And then we're going to cross with a black. Now, as you do your first row, you want to check every so often to make sure that your strings haven't gotten mixed up and that your piece is laying out correctly. So we will dot that and do the next set. So now we need topaz on the left, and black on the right, and we're going to cross with a black. And we'll mark our piece, and we'll do the next set. Now here I feel my string have gotten a little mixed up, so I'm not sure if I have them correctly, so I'll come down, check my work, and then bring my string up together, and there I know they're all set, so we can add a topaz and a black to the left. And then topaz to the right. And we're going to cross with a topaz. We'll dot that. And now we will move our graph down so that you can see the rest of it. And we will continue. And we have topaz on the left, black on the right, and we're going to cross with a black, now we'll mark that. And now that we've come to the last circle, we are going to do it differently. We want to add all of the beads to the string that is on the side of our next row, which in this case is our left string. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll check our piece, make sure we have it laid out correctly. And then we'll take our left string, because it's on the side of our next row, and we are going to add 1, 2, 3 black and 2 topaz. So first the black, and then the topaz, and then we're going to come back to that last cross bead that we are coming out of, and our string is coming out this way, so we want to enter from this side and have it come out on the same side. And there we've added our last set, so we can put our little dot. Now we want to get into position for our next row, so we're going to take the string, the right one, the one that's coming away from our next row, and we're going to go through the last set of beads, the 2 from the last set, and then down through the cross bead on the other side of them. Now both of our strings are coming out on the same side, and they're on either side of the second set of beads, which we are now going to cross. So we'll enter both of them from one side. We'll take the other string and go through both of them from the other side. And get it to go through both. You can do one at a time if you need to. And there we have crossed that second set of 2 beads. And now we're going to add the first 3 beads of our new row, and we want the string that is coming towards the end of our previous row, and we're going to add a topaz and 2 black, and then we are going to cross a bead, and we want a black. So take the black, put it on the string we've been adding to, take the other string, enter from the opposite side, and then bring it down. And then you just unwrap it if you need to, make sure it's laying out correctly. And I like to have my piece laid out like this. You can work it down like this if you want to match the row, but I'm going to work from this direction. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through 2 on the previous row. So the string on the side of the previous row, you'll go through the 2 side beads. Then we're going to add 2 and cross 1. Oops, forgot to dot. Add 2 dots. Now we know we need 2 topaz, and we're going to cross a black. So the string that's coming away from our previous row, we're going to add 2 topaz to it, and then we're going to cross a black. And then we'll repeat that. We'll go through 2 on the previous row, we'll add 2, and then we will cross. So we'll first go through the 2 on the previous row, then we will add 2, mark my spot, so do that now, and we need 2 black, and we're going to cross with a black. There's our 2 black, and we'll take third one and cross it. And then we'll repeat, go through 2 on the previous, add 2, and cross. So we will go through 2, mark, and now we're going to add 2, which is topaz, and cross a black. Right, this time I'll mark ahead of time, mark. And as we're on the last circle, we again are going to do it differently. We're going to take the string that is coming away from the previous row, and we're going to add all 3 beads to it. So we need 2 black and a topaz. Then the 2 beads we would normally go through, we're going to go through them but in the opposite direction, going towards our previous set of beads. And then we're going to go through the cross bead that was on our previous set. And now both of our strings are again coming out of that cross bead. Then we want the string that's coming towards our previous row. We want to go through those 2 beads of the previous set. And then out to the cross bead on the other side. And now both our strings are on the same side, coming out of the same side, and we're going to cross the 2 beads, which is the second set of 2, with both of our strings. Here's one string, and the other string. And now we're in position for our next row. So we'll mark this. And then we're going to add the first 3 beads and cross. So we want the string coming out towards the end of our row. We're going to add the first 3, which is a topaz and 2 black. And then we're going to cross with a black. Then we will go through the 2 on the previous row, we'll add 2 and cross. So we will go through 2. Then we will add 2, which we need 2 black, and we will cross the black. And now again we have come to the last circle of the row. So we're going to take all 3 and add them to the string that is coming away from the previous rows. And we're going to add the 2 black and then a topaz. And then we'll go through the 2 beads that we would have gone through with the other string, but in the opposite direction, going towards the other string. And then back out through that cross bead. And both strings are now back through that cross bead. Now we take the one coming in towards our previous row and go through the 2 beads of our previous set. And out through the cross bead on the other side. And there are both of our strings, and we're going to cross the 2 beads in between them. And now at this point, if your piece was not mirrored, which ours is, you would want to check and make sure you have it laid out correctly, so that when you add your last 4, you add them in the correct order. You can add them to either string. You just want to make sure you add them in the correct order. But here it doesn't matter because we are a mirrored image, so it'll work out. So we need a topaz, 2 black, and a topaz. And then the next thing will be to tie our knot, but let's go ahead and dot the last 2 circles so we know our piece is done. Then we will tie with the monofilament. I do a regular knot followed by a double overhand. If you're using the microfilament, I just recommend the regular 2 knots. And then we'll go through that last bead. Don't pull your knot tight, then go through the last bead and then tuck your knot inside of it, and then once it's inside you can pull tight. And there you have your piece with your knot hidden. Now what I like to do is to bead away from the knot before I clip off. So the one coming out the bottom, I work my way around so it is coming in towards the piece. And then I'll do this circle here, and with the other one I'll do the circle over here, and then I'll clip off. One string, now this one, then we clip off the excess. Just make sure not to accidentally cut anything you don't want to cut, just the extra string. And there you have finished today's small triangle. Remember, you will need 18 of these for the completed kaleidocycle. And I hope you enjoyed today and hope to see you in the next video.